Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Suzerain. When we just came out of a emergency meeting about a communist getting killed by some fascists, which just goes to prove we got some stomping to do. Let's see what's on the news. Murder at the palace. Let's go to the next turn. A few days later. Okay, what do we gotta do now? Dinner with the family, security briefing. A security briefing sounds slightly more important. Please take your seats. Mr. President, ladies, we will kick off today's meeting with the internal security briefing. I'm assuming everyone has already been over the agenda. We all have busy schedules, yada yada yada. Without further ado, I will jump into our first topic. As we fear, the political atmosphere has worsened. No shit. The reports around the country indicate the tensions are rising as we feared. What's the status of the Bernard Circus investigation? Received news this morning that the investigation into the murder of Bernard Circus has concluded. Please enlighten us. This was quick. After further investigation, we've confirmed the motive and the events leading up to the shooting. A few days prior, members of the Red Youth initiated a violent attack on Young Sword's local leader in Yen. We believe the Young Swords then called for revenge, leading to the death of Mr. Circus. Since he often spoke against Young Swords and nationalist sentiments in the assembly, he was a big target, not to mention his radical communist views. Sordland just lost a great writer. For what? It's like just an incident. Investigation revealed a very troubling fact. The funding sources of Red Youth have clear link to United Contana. So the Soviet Union is funding our communist rebels. That doesn't sound surprising. This is proof that they are meddling in our affairs. Several Red Youth members with ties to the United Contana have been detained, and the information extracted from the points to define extracted as preparation for a communist uprising is unusual for superpowers to influence other nations, but I think this case is a little far-fetched. Come on, Contana, we can be friends. You don't need to do a communist uprising. I'm doing it myself. I went over the report in detail. It would be wrong to jump to a conclusion about a clear foreign influence yet. United Contana has humanitarian and cultural ties to many countries, including Sutherland. I also don't want to jump to conclusions. Yeah, we can be friends with the communists. Come on. Nearly 3 decades ago, they funded General Ricard and tried to establish a communist dictatorship in our country. If it was not for Colonel Sol, it would have been the real crisis. Our police chief, Grazer, has linked the funding channel to the United Contana Consulate in Benfi. As all we know, the enemies of Swordland are many, but also have threats inside the country. For the power dealt with threat, our country always had issues. This is part of it. We need to remain vigilant. If we give up essential freedoms to purchase temporary security, do we really need to quote Jefferson, I'm gonna say? I think it's Jefferson. Are we really gonna paraphrase Jefferson this early in the series? Come on. But yes, it is true. This is debatable, but yes, we know. How is it debatable? We know the more security and surveillance caused this country under President Sol. Let's not forget that President Sol, God bless him, brought stability after a long period of bloodshed and chaos, but moving on. Highest internal threat comes from the estimated 20,000 strong Bloodish Freedom Fronts. Who the fuck are these? Militant and political organization, regions in Sutherland, yada yada yada. Armed conflict. Created in protest against Sutherland's suppression of the Bloodish people. So yeah, these are the Kurds basically. Journal comes from the led by imprisoned. Yeah, these are the Kurds. This is the PKK. They are a banned political organization now. Militant forces trying to incite racial violence to make a lot of noise. Are they supported by bloody citizens? To some extent. Luckily, they couldn't attract a wide audience of Bloods, but they could potentially attract thousands if anti-Bloodish sentiment spreads in Sutherland again. Intelligence interception, 2 crates filled with weapons. The KA-74. The not... I mean, you could have done a better job because... Michael Calsington. But you could have done a better job here. At doing a not AK. Expected more have been smuggled in since a group of Bloods were caught with these guns at checkpoint not far away. I mean, we could talk to them. Like, improve the situation for racial minorities and start peace talks. Aggressively in the region for a long time. I'm not surprised they would attempt to weaponize the Bloodish people against us. This is worrying, very worrying. We need to keep level-headed. Can we make any direct correlations? Expected that one would undermine us, but not this far. They play dirty while we play nice, so we will lose. That's grave news, but we must be careful not to stroke the fires of anti-Bloodish sentiment. That's the second most important threat. It is the gang violence that is threatening the Nargis and Angland regions. The prominent organized crime families are at war, and the potential for bloodshed is real. Known as Coron Island, the other is the Skinner Cartel. They used to be allies until recent disagreement. Both are active in cities. They are playing with fire. I want them gone for good. I trust that you can handle them. Otherwise, meaning don't make me intervene personally. Shall be honest with you, with our current capabilities, we may not be able to prevent further arming of separatists while maintaining order. If the law enforcement budget isn't increased, I can't be fully responsible for what happens. Our police units are spread thin as is. I don't want to give more money to the cops. Don't make me give more money to the cops. I might increase the law enforcement budget. Rid our country from separatists and violent thugs if you so. I don't like this. I really don't. Using the word thugs? Yeah, me too. Real problem is corruption, which is fueling the gang violence and is very likely the reason why these weapons were smuggled in. A higher budget could help us end that. Yeah, you must tackle the issue with persistence. This concludes the topics. Thank you for the overview. Mr. President, Yosef, welcome. General Kruger with me, the de-escalations in our borders. Shake his hand. Gentlemen, thanks for coming to this significant gathering. Let's begin. Mr. President, the situation at the western and northern borders towards Rumburg is very tense. We are observing deployment of divisions closer to our border. Rumburg has been acting increasingly expansionist in the past decades. and also interfered in Agnolia, but now they have turned their sights on us. Motherfuckers. This concerns me very much. We're observing these areas actively, our contingency plans are ready. It seems like they want to increase the pressure both externally and internally. The picture is becoming clearer, the latest information from the interior, but the weapons caches are now there. Active military buildup close to our borders. This does not sound good. The entire situation was analyzed by our general staff, and our predictions of future territory incursion by Rumberg. For fuck's sake, first they kill a communist, now they're trying to invade us. My dudes, calm the fuck down. I just took office. I'm just trying to make things better. I have complete trust in the general staff. The threat is let them come. We'll give them hell. I have complete trust in the general staff. Not let you down. The general staff is composed of the smartest military individuals. Require an increase in the military budget to enlist more soldiers. Only then can we stand strong against our enemies. I don't want to fund the fucking military. I want to fund economical projects, education, all that shit. Vulcan is right. We need to increase the military. Like seriously, all my budget is going to the cop. Are you telling me to give my budget to the fucking cops and the military? I don't want to. These strong allies represent the superpowers. There are nemesis. That is an understatement. Times are changing and war is coming. During the election, you said nothing about the focusing on military. I asked to reconsider and to increase the military budget. The future and safety of Starland is in your hands. Times change. We will see. Our forces would crumble and decrease, and Rumburg would be much more compelled to exploit our weakness. The country hasn't fallen to an invasion force for 200 years. You cannot let it happen. We should find regional allies to deter Rumsburg. We are several options on the table. One shudders at the sacrifice they will require us to make. Yeah, that's the problem. The difference between losing your independence to one or the other. Everyone fell silent when the soldier entered the room. Excuse me, Mr. President. There have been Rumburgian military activity close to the Narvel border. I just spoke with the local commander. Vulcan, we should go to the ministry and get further updates from our branches. Understood. Raising military readiness is the first call of action. If there is truly an extraordinary attempt, we'll relay you to you immediately and wait for further orders. Fucking hell, they're invading us already! Your service is appreciated. Remain calm. Make sure not to escalate things further. Nobody wants a war. Ah, fuck's sake. Are we gonna have to fight a war now? I don't want to fight a war. I want to improve the material conditions of my people. Ah, fucking hell. What's in the news? Swordfish politician shot dead. Yeah, this is old news. Rumors of an infrastructure project. Unity despite differences. Swordland has to pass the future. Gang violence. Murder was method at best. 1927 never again. Okay, I want to see what the fuck you think is behind the economic crisis. Sniper before, large corporate business time and time again receive money from the government under the disguise of helping the economy. What about the people? Oh, okay, that fairly accurate. Underhaul construction once again. Only way out of recession, bailing out. Fuck off. Rumburg closes consulate. This is not good. This is very, very much not good. Military weak. Damn. So, allying ourselves to Agnolia, not great. Their military is weak. Okay, let's go back to. Let's have some nice, calm dinner with our family. How was school? It was only one bad man and he's gone. It's not really true, but okay. I felt like going grocery shopping. Classic whole sort delicacy. Vegetables and creamy sheep cheese sandwiched between thin layers of dough. Sounds maybe delicious. It's absolutely my favorite dish, especially paired with kebji. That's nice. I'm worried for the children and the country. Tell Frank to come down for dinner. He's been sulking in his room all day. This should be fun. Knock on the door. We respect our kids' privacy. No response. Knock on the door again. No response. Bang on the door. Hey, hey, young man, you don't fucking talk to me like that. I don't think the neighbors heard. It's been there for the past 30 years. Can you imagine doing the same job for so long? President for 20 years. No, thank you. 20 years of this, I'd be dead. I don't want this country to suffer under another soul. Grocer really is a nice person. He threw in some extra vegetables. So it's gonna be, we're just going to sit here like nothing happened. He could have been killed, mom could have been killed, any of us could have died. Never let anything happen to you. At least tell me if something's been done about this. We took all the necessary steps. Listen to your father. Your father says we don't need to worry, then we don't need to worry. He's still young, I know, but there's not much longer we can shield him from the ugliness of the world. Yeah, he has to grow up sometime. If there's truly any threat to this family, we'll be the first to know. Okay, what next? React to the unrest. The political situation around the country has escalated. Chief Strategist Lucien Galad has prepared several action plans we can execute. What will we do to address the intensifying political climate? Call for restraint, visit effective towns in person, expand the police by deploying all recruits in training, visit effective towns. President Rain talks to protesters. Heavily affected by the protests and riots sparked up in our own country, triggered by the death of Circus, he was seen talking to the protesters and listening to the concerns of the citizens. This is good. Protests across Sutherland, protests in Grooney, political chaos! The wrong economy. Government has made its decision to promote planned economy. Shut the fuck up. End of day meeting. Pour some whiskey. Mr. President, Mr. Tusk is here to see you. Oh, for fuck's sake. Do I have to? Had a meeting with a Lutherberg spokesman. I'm sorry for not giving you a proper notice. Did your job properly? It was time to leave. Maybe you can postpone me. Don't worry about it. Anything to drink? Preferably from before you were born. Fucking prick. Ah, what a fucking prick. He'll have the water, Livia. He'll have the water and he'll be thankful he's getting that much. I'm here to congratulate you. Yeah, sure you are. My business partner and I wish you a successful term and the leader of our nation. Sure. I had the chance to say this at the ball with all the panic, but they're very much looking forward to working with you. Thank you. I'd like to build a profitable relationship between us. That being said, there are some concerns of mine. Of course there are. What are these concerns? The ruined state of the economy in Sutherland has influenced everyone. The recession hit us all hard. I'm sure you're making do fine, mate. Had this brought in from Lesbia, the best cigars in the world. Would you like to try one? Ah, you go ahead. I heard that you purchased stock from Armadillo Industries, smart buy. They are developing new gadgets that are doing profitable. Spending money to make money. You'll be surprised that one can achieve given the resources in capitalism. Fuck. I'll buy a couple of thousand of shares too to expand my portfolio. Hope the investment pays off for both of us. I don't like the implication. The assassination and the troubles between the left and right are worrying about the recession, the root cause of these issues. For us, it is worrying to see that you have decided to promote a planned economy. I don't care what you think. Recession was triggered by the market reforms of Alfonso, which he couldn't finish due to being heavily obstructed by the establishment. Yeah, sure. Economics need long-term strategy and mid-term adjustments to provide growth and stability. My father once said, you have to finish what you started. He is right. The system collapsed because Alfonso didn't finish the reforms he started. And then look at what happened to him. Yeah, we didn't do free market hard enough. The highway investment was a good call, but there was more to gain in the high-speed rail, especially for business logistics. England region was in dire need of investment. Most important goals to divert investments where most profits can be made for the treasury. It can be close allies, the group helps Sutherland out of the recession, which will be a key problem to solve in your term and could even determine your re-election. Let's start with a gesture of goodwill. Soon the investment project contract will be awarded to one of the three main contenders. Ah, fucking prick. If the contract is somehow awarded to Underhall Construction, they would not only work hard and deliver, but also do it on time. 42.70, I hope that's acceptable. You just tried to bribe the president of Swartland. Did you think that I was just another corrupt politician? If this is why you came here, we're done here. Motherfucker just came in here, tried to bribe me. Fuck right off. Maybe so, well, Mr. President, do you accept this offer? Of course not. The other girls have told me about all this kind of dealings that went on during the Alfonso administration. I wasn't sure if you were that kind of president. I most certainly am not. Fucking prick. H3 highway contract. Okay, who are we giving the contract to? Besides starting our economic recovery, the travel time by road will drop more than half. This project will improve the Angland region. I have lived in these people and seen them suffer. I hope so, Lily. Yes. The aim of economic strength in this weak region will be partially accomplished. According to my estimations, this project will give about 50,000 citizens from Angland employment. Kind of event. What will it take to stop the recession? A lot more than that. This is just the beginning. We will need to follow the project up with several other economic investments. Depends on the government budget. We need to make sure we have enough money to fund critical ministries, but still have the money left for investments. I have the overview of the companies here. I reviewed them, also took the liberty of asking the mayor of Varvary to give his opinion on the matter. Let's talk about the Sardar State Corporation. It's the main corporation tasked with running the day-to-day construction services of our country. Most trusted Northern world companies, they have served us a long time. I have worked with them on several occasions, with a full initial election promise of using a state-dominant planned economy to improve the bleak economic prospects. They have the experience and manpower to pull off a project like this. They are the only company to have worked in the Angland region. Outdated construction methods, they are several decades behind. Yeah, the experience is good. Negative statements for the SSC. Their record clearly shows competent contracts with thousands of employees who have more than 20 years of experience. Yep. Let's go with the public company. I don't even need to hear about the other ones. Tusk just walked into my office and pissed me off, so I'm not even gonna look at his company. Well, Mr. President, contract will be awarded to the SSC. Very glad that you have made this choice. I can tell from my experience that we will be very satisfied with this corporation. I mean, ideally, I would have been presented with budgets and timelines and stuff, not just a history of the company. But sure, fine. The company will be notified today that construction work will begin immediately after. That's great news. My expectations for grand opening ceremony are late next year. This concludes the meeting. Let's meet with Caronti. I don't really want to. Where are we, Serge? I really don't like us going to him. I really don't like us going to him. Hope the journey was comfortable. Location is very remote indeed. Anything to keep me away from home? Wasn't bad. I'm looking forward to this meeting. Think of comfort. Countries descended into chaos. That's very remote indeed. Reach out. Stars me with his hand. Reach out for a handshake. Sure, fine. We'll be polite at least. Is it such a pleasure to meet you in person? I appreciate your efforts. Yada yada yada. Thanks for hosting us. La la la. Welcome, your kind words have touched me, Vice President. He was indeed a great man. Please accept our condolences. I'm very happy to hear this from you, Mr. President. It's time to look for. Wait, he would have been happy to hear that I am sorry for his death? I would think he would rather be alive. It's time to look forward. Let's talk about our bright future. There's much to discuss. We've no doubt I have been a secret admirer of your political success. I find a quick rise to power was shockingly well executed. Admiral, I will not be standing here. Yeah, just say thank you. Last months have been tumultuous. Glad you and your family were unharmed. Yada yada. The whole incident must have been a shock for the kids. They aren't used to what we lived through back in the 20s. I'm startled, but the important thing is they are safe and sound. No family should suffer from tragedy. Well, I am known to be a straightforward person, so let's get to the point. During an Alfonso campaign, when I was struck by what you have done within the party, you said we will transform this nation, Mr. Rain. My conglomerate has a way of doing things and I don't want them to change. So I want to cooperate with you. Please explain. You might have the people's support now, but what happens when you make mistakes? Everyone makes mistakes. What's that supposed to mean? I think it was very clear what he meant. Being a president in this country means having many enemies, enemies that would result to anything to bring you down. Let's say these enemies caused a scandal or leaked sensitive information. These would be destructive when they were released, if they were released. You're playing a dangerous game. We're all dangerous men playing dangerous games. What do you want in return? I want two things, Mr. President. Number one is guarantee that you and the Reign administration won't meddle in HOS affairs no matter what happens. Nah, I can't promise that. Number two is simple gentleman's favor for the future. Let me prove my services to you first, and I'm sure you won't disappoint when the time comes. How do I know that I can trust you? My circle advised against this. They don't even know we are telling our meeting. Both put ourselves at risk, but I'm willing to trust you. Do you think about this? I think it's a good deal. The media support, the newspapers and channels. The one thing that bothers me though is his favor request. We do not know what it is and could ask for something that could point fingers at us. I really have the feeling that I can't afford to not have this prick on my side, so yeah, let's make a deal. I don't like it, but I'm gonna have to do it. Deal is a deal. I'm not gonna shake your hand. Let's go back to Whole Sword, and with that, we will end this episode. As always, my name has been Pope. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, do everything that makes the algorithm happy, and I will see you all next time.